The year is 1953. Sergeant Richard Hayes, stationed at an isolated military airbase in Ohio, has grown used to the stillness of the night shift. But tonight, something unusual catches his eye. Lights. Unexplained lights, flickering over the distant hills. At first, Hayes thinks it might be a plane. But no plane moves like this. These lights are fast, darting left and right in sharp, unpredictable patterns. Silent. He feels a chill as the lights seem to blink out, then reappear closer, now hovering above the base. This wasn't the first time strange lights had been reported in the skies over military installations. In fact, since the creation of Project Blue Book in 1952, such sightings had become routine. Most were dismissed as misidentified aircraft or natural phenomena. But Hayes couldn't shake the feeling that this time, it was different. What they found would remain a secret for decades. A metallic craft, roughly 30 feet wide, glowing faintly in the moonlight. The air around it seemed charged with energy, a low hum filling their ears. It was unlike anything they had ever seen. As the soldiers approached, their radios went dead. There was no explanation, no protocol for something like this. What happened that night would be classified. Buried deep within the files of Project Blue Book, the U.S. Air Force's top-secret UFO investigation program. But the truth would eventually emerge, raising more questions than answers. Project Blue Book, the U.S. government's most publicized investigation into unidentified flying objects, began in 1952, but it wasn't the first. It followed two earlier efforts. Project Sign, launched in 1947 in response to a surge of UFO sightings, and Project Grudge, which sought to debunk and downplay UFO reports as mere mass hysteria or misidentified natural phenomena. By 1952, UFO sightings had reached a peak, with reports coming in from all over the United States. Citizens were alarmed, and the government needed answers. Enter Project Blue Book, led by Captain Edward J. Ruppelt, a man determined to bring scientific rigor to the study of these strange occurrences. Captain Ruppelt took a different approach from his predecessors. He believed in examining each report on its own merits, using science rather than skepticism as the foundation for his investigation. He even coined the term UFO, unidentified flying object, to remove the stigma of flying saucers and encourage a more neutral, scientific approach. One of the most famous cases investigated by Project Blue Book was the Washington, D.C. UFO incident in July 1952. For several nights, strange lights were seen darting across the skies over the U.S. Capitol. Radar operators tracked these objects, which appeared to be moving at incredible speeds. Military pilots were dispatched, but the objects vanished as quickly as they appeared.
I first noticed the unidentified objects on radar. These objects appeared suddenly, moved erratically, and performed maneuvers that seemed impossible for any known aircraft, such as abrupt stops and 90-degree turns.
I was a pilot for Capital Airlines at the time. I wasn't sure what I was seeing. There were 6 fast-moving tailless lights over a 14-minute period, as they moved in conjunction with the radar blips seen by the air traffic controllers.
Oh gosh, I was just a young boy at the time. I recall I was just sitting on the porch, taking a break from riding my bike. Then I looked up to see multiple UFOs just blocks away from the Capitol. I saw several objects flying in formation. I'll never forget those strange lights in the sky over several nights.
The sightings caused a public panic. Newspaper headlines screamed of UFOs invading Washington, D.C., but despite the military's swift action, there were no clear answers. The Air Force eventually attributed the radar blips to temperature inversions, a weather phenomenon where layers of warm air trap cooler air, causing radar signals to bounce back strangely. Between 1952 and 1969, Project Blue Book collected over 12,000 reports of UFO sightings. The goal was to determine whether these sightings posed a threat to national security and if they were of extraterrestrial origin. The vast majority of cases were debunked as misidentifications, weather balloons, aircraft, meteors, and even birds. But a small percentage, about 701 cases, remained unexplained. These unexplained cases were the ones that fueled speculation. Some of the most compelling reports included sightings by trained military personnel and commercial pilots, people with expertise in identifying aircraft. These sightings, often accompanied by radar data and multiple witnesses, form the backbone of the enduring mystery. One man who played a pivotal role in Project Blue Book was Dr. J. Allen Hynek, the project's chief scientific advisor. Initially, Hynek was a skeptic. He believed that most sightings could be explained as mundane events. But over time, as he reviewed hundreds of cases, his views began to shift. By the late 1960s, Hynek was convinced that some UFO sightings represented a genuine mystery. Hynek's transformation from skeptic to advocate was one of the most significant shifts within Project Blue Book. He believed that while most UFO sightings could be explained, there remained a small fraction that could not, and those deserved serious scientific study. After Blue Book ended, Hynek became one of the leading voices calling for the government to continue researching UFOs. Even after Project Blue Book officially ended in 1969, the debate continued. Many UFO enthusiasts and conspiracy theorists believed that Blue Book had been nothing more than a front for a deeper government cover-up. They claimed that the real truth about UFOs was being hidden, buried deep in classified documents and secret military programs. Some theorists suggested that the government had recovered alien spacecraft, that reverse-engineered technology was being used in military projects, and that extraterrestrial beings had been in contact with world leaders. These claims, while widely spread, were never backed by solid evidence. While most UFO sightings could be debunked, a handful of cases remained unsolved. These cases continue to fuel speculation, even among those who are typically skeptical. So what are we to make of them? So this is all a fascinating story, however ... How true is it? Let's break down what we know. The vast majority of UFO sightings, especially during the Blue Book years, can be explained by mundane causes. For example, weather phenomena like lenticular clouds, ball lightning, and temperature inversions can all create illusions of flying objects. New military aircraft, like the U-2 spy plane, also accounted for many sightings. In fact, the U-2 spy plane was responsible for many UFO reports in the 1950s. Its high-altitude flight path was unlike any commercial or military aircraft of the time, leading witnesses to report strange lights moving across the sky. This, combined with other classified military projects, explains a large portion of the unexplained sightings. As for the Washington, D.C. sightings, which had caused widespread panic in 1952, they were eventually explained as a combination of temperature inversions and misidentified aircraft. Radar signals can behave strangely in such conditions, creating false echoes that appear as fast-moving objects. But Dr. Hynek's argument remained. Not all cases were so easily dismissed. He believed that even a small percentage of genuinely unexplainable sightings warranted further study. And while Project Blue Book officially declared that no UFO had posed a threat to national security, many felt that this conclusion was incomplete. Today, with the release of previously classified files and the continued investigation of UFO phenomena, the debate surrounding Project Blue Book persists. Were these sightings simply misunderstandings, or was something more at play? The truth may still be out there, waiting to be uncovered. Thank you for watching. If you found this video intriguing, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your theories about Project Blue Book in the comments below. And as always, keep searching for the truth.